RJ says, can you explain how the false sense of authorship wants instinctively to take ownership of even the smallest movement, like raising one's hand on command or moving one's eyeballs left and right while thinking about it? The experience is that an action has been ordered and it's now being performed. And so this tool we use, which is this idea of the false sense of authorship, and it is just that, it's a tool, it's not an actual thing, describes something that happens in the hope that we can better recognize the truth of what is happening. So we have different levels of identification. There is actions that happen in which there's no identification whatsoever. So you often move your eyes, or you lift your hands, or you brush your teeth, or you move around in your space with no identification with what you're doing. It's simply happening. Your eyes are moving, your body is moving from one place to another. There's no sense that I am doing that. There's no identification with the action. And that describes a vast amount of your activity, that you go do things without any sense that I'm doing them. But there is then this quality of self-awareness, a recognition of oneself, and that I am doing something. I am blinking. I am raising my hand. And so there is identification with the action, with the sense that I am doing it. And then the third level of identification is the one we're subtly breaking out, so to speak. And that is the sense that this doing that I am identified with is not only a sense of I am identified as the doer of the action, but more subtly, I am also identifying as the author of this doing. And it is this more subtle sense that produces the suffering in life. So the false sense of authorship is this sense that I am authoring the action that I'm doing. And that actually applies to a fairly small percentage of the things that you do during the day, because you do millions of things during the day while you're awake and conscious. Most of that which you do, you are not even identified with. It's simply happening. Then there is the thoughts and the feelings and the actions with which you're identified. And of those, only a small portion have this further sense of authorship associated with them. And it is this that we're looking at because it is so emblematic of a fundamental misunderstanding of the nature of things. Because it arises out of the sense that I am an independent entity. And so this identification is not simply one that I am doing something, but it is that the I that is doing it is falsely sensing itself to be independent of everything else. And it is truly that false sense of being independent that gives rise to the sense of authorship. And it is this false sense of being an independent entity that we are primarily concerned with in this teaching.